So guys, Manchester United is definitely evolving under Ruben Amorim, and there has been some sort of evolution against Sunderland when Manchester United played their seventh game in the Premier League, and there was some sort of evolution. Manchester United did not just play and have the 3 points, but there was some sort of tactical tweaks. Instead of Manchester United playing the regular 3-4-3 or 5-2-3 out of position, we actually saw a different Manchester United. So is this a start of a new system or new identity under Ruben Amorim at Old Trafford? And are we going to see a massive change in Manchester United when we visit Anfield on October 19th, our next game in the Premier League? So guys, you are going to find out. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Trafford, as we'll be diving deep into Manchester United system, and I'll be letting you guys to know why Ruben Amorim made that tweak and why it made Manchester United more balanced, and if we're going to be seeing more of this under Ruben Amorim in Manchester United. So guys, let's dive into this video. So guys, one of the evidence of evolution that I observed in the Sunderland game is that Manchester United were in a 4-4-2 compact shape against Sunderland instead of the regular 5-2-3 shape out of position, and this was the exact same setup that Manchester United used against Bournemouth in the preseason, where we dominated Bournemouth and actually won Bournemouth in the preseason. So Manchester United were playing in a 4-4-2 shape. We kept a two tight lines of 4 in every phase of the play, making Manchester United to be more compact, to be more organized, and to be more efficient whenever there is turnovers and when Manchester United want to actually carry out a fast counter attack. And this actually resonated with the team. This actually resonated with the energy levels of Manchester United, because we all know that Manchester United don't have the current athleticism to play at the 5-2-3 shape out of position that Ruben Amorim wants. Manchester United, the profile of players we currently have, cannot be able to play the 5-2-3 shape out of position. It is definitely not sustainable under Ruben Amorim and Manchester United, and so hence the tweak from him to play in a 4-4-2 shape, and that actually works, as Manchester United were able to sustain and play in a very high energy level all throughout the Sunderland game. And also, when Manchester United actually and Ruben Amorim switched to a 5-2-3 shape in the second half, you could see that there was a drastic change in the energy levels of Manchester United players. You could see that the team started, making a lot of mistakes passes. The players started getting tired. You could notice that there was a kind of change in the Manchester United system. That tells you that the 5-2-3 shape is not sustainable with this current squad and the current profile of Manchester United. Hence why the 4-4-2 shape from Ruben Amorim was very efficient in the first half and in some parts of the second half. And this is something that Ruben Amorim should up to it in our various games coming up in the Premier League. Using the 4-4-2 shape is not like a random experiment, but it's a very smart idea from Ruben Amorim, because Manchester United has been used to playing in a transitional system, in a fast breakout team. So this is something that Ruben Amorim should experiment more in the Premier League, especially as the players are getting used to the idea and philosophy of Ruben Amorim. It is good to be flexible and try to use some ideas that is going to push the team forward. So another subtle but important change that we saw in the Sunderland game was that Ruben Amorim instructed the front forwarders not to press all the time, not to press relentlessly in the game. Instead, they were very conservative in their pressing. They let the central backs and the full backs of the opposition team to have more freedom on the ball, to have more spaces on the ball. Instead, the forwarders of Manchester United were more focused on covering the midfield, covering and blocking passing lanes. And this was something that I said in my last video when comparing Oliver Glasner and Ruben Amorim. Their systems were very, very different, in the sense of that Oliver Glasner's front three doesn't press all the time. They are very conservative in their press. They press when needed and try to block passing lanes in the midfield and try to cause the opposition double pivots not to build up and dominate from the back. So this was exactly what Ruben Amorim did in the Sunderland game. He didn't let the pivot of the Sunderland team, comprising of Xhaka, to build up from the back. He was our front three was very conservative. They were very important in that game because they knew what the opposition team wanted to do. They were constantly blocking passing lane, and this actually showed that Ruben Amorim is beginning to evolve. He's no longer showing a lot of stubbornness. He's trying to adjust and tweak his system, because this is the way that Manchester United can be able to build. And he actually made that tweak because he could see a lot of fatigue from Manchester United against Arsenal and against Fulham, against Burnley. Because of the constant pressing from the front three, they get easily exhausted, and because of the early season fatigue, you will see that Ruben Amorim is beginning to adjust. He's beginning to know the system that is suitable for the Manchester United profile of players. He's beginning to know the system that is going to help him to win games regularly at Manchester United. So guys, there was another key detail noticed in the Sunderland game, in the sense that the central backs were being instructed to always push high and cover spaces whenever Manchester United is being attacked. This is something that I also compared when I was comparing Oliver Glasner and Ruben Amorim. In the Oliver Glasner system, he prefers his wing backs, which are in their natural position, to press high and try to block the transition or the build-up play of the opposition team. But in the system of Ruben Amorim, the central backs, the white central backs, are the ones doing that, and it was something that Sunderland couldn't exploit in that game, because many times Euro and Luke Shaw was being caught off guard because they were being instructed to go forward and try to block spaces. This is something that needs desperate fixing before Manchester United face Liverpool in the Premier League, because definitely Liverpool has a lot of wonderful and fast attackers that is going to help to break them during transition. It is a vulnerability in Manchester United that makes desperate fixing, because we cannot be instructing the central backs to be covering wide zones and wide areas. Instead, the wing backs in their natural positions are supposed to push up high to try to block the opposition team, and then the central backs or the front line, what they are expected to do is just like to shift and adjust to a back four and try to block the opposition press. So this is something that Manchester United needs to work on. Instead of the central back doing the push-up and trying to block the opposition players, instead the wing backs are supposed to push up and the central defenders are supposed to adjust and try to create a balance in the back four. This balance in the back four is going to help Manchester United not to be subject to a lot of counter-attacks, and this is going to help us to try to avoid a lot of turnovers, as we have seen in many games for Manchester United this season. So guys, another key change in the game against Sunderland was that Senne Lammens actually went long 33 times in the game against Sunderland. You're going to find out that this is not just a coincidence, it wasn't an accident, it was something that was planned all the way by Ruben Amorim. It is not a flashy system, but it looks very smart, because the midfielders of Manchester United cannot be able to play with their back to goal. They can't receive the ball under pressures, and most of the defenders of Manchester United cannot be able to create the possession box that Ruben Amorim wants to play. They are not comfortable playing in these roles. So this was something that Ruben Amorim adapted in, and Senne Lammens actually went long 33 times to make Manchester United to win the second balls by Benjamin Sesko heading down or trying to control the ball, and then Manchester United win the second balls and try to progress effectively, even though it didn't work all the time in the game. But it was a system that was worth trying, because Manchester United did not just build up from the back all the time. I think we only started to build up from the back when we got comfortable in the game, when we scored like 2 goals. But when Manchester United had not scored any goal, Manchester United was very pragmatic. We were going long and we were just trying to stop the pressing system of Sunderland, because definitely before that game starts, Sunderland were looking to press Manchester United to try to create turnovers, to try to create transitions, but Manchester United actually avoided that by going long, by trying to win the long balls and the second balls and try to be very fast in transition. So many people will talk about the 3 points that Manchester United got against Sunderland, but for me, I think it's not just about the 3 points. It's about the evolution, it's about the tactics, it's about the way Manchester United approach the game. You're going to find out that Ruben Amorim is beginning to understand what works as Manchester United and what doesn't work as Manchester United. He's beginning to adapt both tactically to the energy levels of the players, to the demands of the players, to how flexible these players can be. So this is the most important part of the coach, understanding the squad, understanding their energy levels, understanding their profiles, not playing them out of position. So this was the little details that was very important in the win against Sunderland last weekend. So I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Trafford. More videos will be coming your way, more analysis will be coming your way. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe, as we'll be making more videos on Tactical Trafford. So see you guys in my next video. Ciao.